great uncle Mack, he had, oh God, I think he had maybe 8 restaurants at one time. The most famous place was like a little hamburger joint, and all the teenagers every Friday and Saturday night, it was like on happy days, they'd get in their cars and they'd circle for hours and hours on end and, buy their pink cookies and hamburgers and stuff. Eventually, my uncle retired and he sold the business, and, after a few years with the new owners, they ended up closing, of course. And everybody just still kept talking about my Uncle Mack. First book was really small because I could only get my hands on a few recipes, because a lot of those recipes are just gone. They're long gone. But then after the first book came out, other people that worked for my uncle started emailing me more recipes. And so hence volume 2 came in. And I had a lot more recipes then because I got my hands on some of the old cookbooks from the restaurant, from the bakery. My great aunt Helen, she did a lot of community affairs and stuff and would hold, like tea parties and stuff like that. And so New Year's Eve, they'd make this eggnog, and that was the fun thing making in volume 2 was the eggnog, because I went ahead and followed the recipe to a T, and I had this gigantic bowl of eggnog. So I told my husband, there's no way we can drink all this. So on the first book, because there were so many that were getting sold, when I was invited to Abilene to do a book signing, it was actually held at my great uncle's old restaurant, the hamburger joint that everybody circled around during their high school days. And it was bought by a food bank company, so people would go there for help and whatnot. So they were kind enough to open up their doors on a Saturday when they're normally closed to allow us to have the book signing there. And I had t-shirts and tote bags and stuff. The little walking chef, my grandfather was the one that designed that, and he worked for Mack as well. So with the cookbooks, the t-shirts, the tote bags, everything, I donated my profits to the food bank to help them. I think we got them over $2,200. When I decided that I wanted to do the cookbook, I went online during my free time and was looking up all the different websites, that allowed people to create their own cookbooks and whatnot. And, I'd get in there and sign up for one and kind of play with it. But a lot of them just weren't that user-friendly. And that was the one thing that I liked about CreateMyCookbook, is because it was easier to navigate, because I am not a computer person. And when you get into something and it's just too complex to maneuver around, you just tend to say, forget it. I'm not using this company. There's got to be an easier way. When I came across y'all's, and I'm like, now I can work with this. Don't be intimidated. Just jump right in there and do it, because I had never done a book before. I never knew didn't know the first thing. All I knew is that everybody was clamoring before that book was even done. I was getting word back that even places like in the farmers market down in Abilene, my name was a buzz down there, because everybody's, did you hear they're making a cookbook? That gives you motivation. And it's not something as big as that, just do it. It's fun. It's a good way. And especially with COVID nowadays, it's like, you get bored sitting at home, there's a perfect project. Get on there, start playing with it, and have fun.